Emily, why do you wear that hat all the time? Stop wearing that stupid hat all the time. Is your belt flipped up enough, Emily? Me? Oh, because I like my hat. Do you like my hat? I do not like your hat. Fine. Fine. Okay, well. If you don't like my hat, I like my hat. Alright. Leave it. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Monday Coffee with your doll. I'm the doll. In case you didn't notice. That's me. All-new episode. Second episode of the year. How are you guys doing? How has the beginning of the year treated all of y'all? So far, it's been, topsy-turvy for me, but I refuse to allow it to change my mindset, because that's really all anything is anyways, right? Like, every day just leads into another day, to another day, to another day, just because the year is different. Not to mention, time is a man-made construct anyways, to try and keep us all on track. And for most of us, that doesn't even work. So, like, what is a new year really, other than trying to remember to write something down and type something into a computer? Because ultimately, we're in control from this year, to that day, to this day. So it doesn't really hold any type of real meaning unless you place meaning on it. You know what I mean? So this year's been kind of trippy for me, because it's kind of started out the exact same way that last year started out, in a sense. I started 2022, my whole family started 2022 all sick with COVID. And then we started 2023 all sick with the flu. And it took us out. And when I say it took us out hardcore. I've been down for a week. It's been an entire week. We got it literally the January 2nd was when we all kind of just, it was on like Donkey Kong, you know what I mean? And it really tried and succeeded in wiping us out for a while. I think I slept in the bottom of my shower for 2 or 3 days straight, eating nothing but oranges, because it was the only thing that I could stomach. And it was a hard time. It was a hard time. But that's over. That's done with. And although it's kind of a weird deja vu that both of my years have started this way, I'm determined to not let that be a reflection and just kind of go into this whole mindset of, well, does that mean this year is just going to be the same thing that last year was? Is this just a sign? Is this a sign? I mean, sure, it could be a sign. But guess what? Guess who's in control of their future? Me. Guess who's in control of your future? You. So that's what we're going to be talking about on today's show, is the really unrealistic pressures that we put on ourselves that other people put there. Yeah. There was a comment left on one of my last reels that I posted from last week's show, and I don't know if you saw it. If you haven't, you probably didn't miss much. But anyways, somebody had left a comment. I was talking about anxiety, and somebody left a comment about how it's hard because other people don't understand. And when other people don't understand their difficulties with anxiety, it's hard for them to cope with their anxieties. And then it made me think to myself, you want to know why that is? Why that is? That's because you care more about what other people think about your anxieties and how other people feel about your anxieties, which just ultimately gives you more anxiety instead of thinking about yourself. And you're probably like, well, Emily, if you just think about yourself, that's narcissistic. It's selfish. Is it? Is thinking about yourself and your own mental health and the way you need to cope with things to make your days better and easier, which ultimately helps you achieve your goals because you have more confidence in yourself because you're focusing on yourself. Does that make you narcissistic? Maybe. But I think that kind of the bigger problem is that we're all so focused on the noise from the bullshit that we read on social media and all the articles and all the posts and all the Twitter updates and all of the TikToks of people getting in the camera and letting you know how you need to fix yourself in this way because this is how I feel like you need to do better, instead of saying, how do I need to do better? What is it that I need to do for me? So I'm going to share my thoughts on that. And you can listen and apply if you feel that it fits you, or you can just, turn this off. You can just turn this off. So, whatever fits you, because this is about you right now, I support. Because this is the Doll Fam. And here, we support each other and what's best for each of us without trying to make it about us and take an emotional offense. You know what I mean? because I think that's a problem too. So after this person had left a comment, you know, it really made me think. It made me think about how, you know, I function with my anxiety. And one of the things that I function with in my anxiety is that I call it out. I didn't used to call it out. I used to just really feel bad about how I behaved in social settings. And I felt guilty for it because I was constantly worried about how it was affecting other people. Again, I'm a people pleaser. We know that if you're new here. Hi! This doormat that you're seeing, that you just got here, this welcome mat, this doormat, is me! It's me! It's one of my worst toxic traits in the world. But I'm willing to call it out, I'm willing to acknowledge it, and I'm willing to accept it, and try to make friends with it as best as I can, right? I'm gonna dust my doormat off, at least so it's clean. You know what I mean? But it made me reflect on the fact that when I go out, and I get really bad anxiety, one of the things that I do is I chatter. I anxious talk. I'm very animated. I'm very bubbly and fun. And in my opinion, I feel like that's really misleading. Because inside, I'm screaming. I'm screaming. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so on edge. I feel so out of place. But my goal to make myself more comfortable is I feel I have to make sure that everybody else is comfortable. Because if everybody else is comfortable, if I'm acknowledging everybody, if I'm talking to everybody, if I'm putting everybody else first, then maybe they won't pay attention to me. Because I don't want people to pay attention to me. Which is odd, right? Because I have pages full of nearly almost 1 million followers across all my platforms, and yet here I am making a new video. And some people would say, well, she's so narcissistic. If she has anxiety so bad and she doesn't want attention so bad, why is she constantly making videos and telling people to give her attention? And it's like, well, because if I vocally talk about the things that I feel I need to, you know, improve on, and then share how I feel like those improvements and those adjustments and those coping things have affected me in a positive way, maybe I can help all of y'all affect yourselves in a positive way. Sharing is caring. Knowledge is power. If I can share the knowledge that I learn with you, maybe we can be more powerful together. Ayo, I need to put that on a shirt. Gotta get that on a shirt soon, because that's my catchphrase. Don't take it. Don't take it. Sharing is only caring in this way. Okay. It seems to be a reoccurring theme that I notice, that most people focus more on how other people feel about them versus how they feel about themselves. We're just walking around these big balls of anxiety because we're constantly trying to make sure that we're validating other people's comfortability in who we are as single people. And that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I know, because I have been that kind of crazy, and I still am that type of crazy in small doses. I would be 100% lying if I said that I wasn't. I 100% have moments where somebody will leave a comment or somebody will say something, because I have a little bit of a different thing, right? I'm not really in the normal like life setting that most people are, where I'm out working a 9-to-5 job, or I'm out interacting with like lots of different people in my family, and I have like this friend circle, or this like intermingling of other friend circles, or anything like that. So I don't really have that. I just have like over 800,000 people who follow me on the daily. That I'm like, here's something I did, and then people judge it or leave an opinion or a comment or this or that. And realistically, my doll fam is amazing. I don't really deal with a lot of people coming into my feed talking shit to me. I really don't. But occasionally I do. Occasionally I'll have people project their feelings onto me. Here's a really good example. So I made a video, a TikTok, and I used a very specific sound. There was a trending audio that was going around, and it was this song, and you might have heard it, and the song is you know, this girl singing, and she's like, I'm settling down, blah blah blah. I was 16 a week ago, and now I'm closer to 23, right? And it's like this age gap, and all of these girls were posting these videos of showing themselves at 16 and now where they are. And it was a really cute, emotional type piece of content, right? It triggered me, and I was like, that's really cute. And I was watching all of them. I never intended to make my own. And then I came across a shirt. Hold on, if I can find it. Just 1 second. Where the HE double. I seem to have misplaced this shirt that I was talking about. Well, I digress. Anyways, I have this shirt. I have this shirt that I've had since I was 16 years old. It was like one of the first shirts that I ever bought that like supported, I guess you could say, the rockabilly lifestyle that I had just discovered. And it was one of my favorite icons, Audrey Hepburn. And I bought this shirt, and I was super stoked about it because I grew up watching her movies with my grandma, yada yada yada, it's whatever, right? But I was like, holy shit, I still have this shirt. This would be a really great one to do of this, because I have a photograph of myself when I had first got it, and it was from back when I was a teenager, and I was like, that'll be a really cool video to put together and kind of reflect on. And so that's what I did. And I created this video with the concept of, you know, when I was that age, and in that moment, I was getting judged to all get out by people who were letting me know that I wasn't allowed to embrace or love the things that I had been falling in love with at the time, like rockabilly and pinup and this lifestyle that had called to me because it really did connect with who I was and my interests, and it was something that really spoke to me. And it's like, well, you're a poser, right? We all go through that bullshit, it's whatever. And now here I am, 33 years old, almost 34, maybe 34 this month. I still have this shirt. And after all these years reflecting back on being called all these things, and I had this whole point to this video, and the video came out really cool, and the video made me feel emotional because, you know, I was like, well, you know, shit, here, I'll just let you watch the video.
I'm settling down, but I blacked out at brunch. I swear 16 was yesterday, but now I'm closer to 28. I'm focusing all of my energy on just staying away.
So that's the video, okay? That's the video. And there was a comment, it was one of my more popular videos, and when videos get really popular and you post them on your page, but then they kind of grab people from all over, and so I had a lot of comments from people who don't know who I am, they don't follow my page, but there's a lot of people who like to just come to content and like leave their 2 cents and project whatever idea they've come up with based off this one video, and they don't really ever take the time to think broader than that. So there was this one woman who left a comment on it trying to like psychoanalyze me and my point of this video, and she tried to make it seem how creepy it was that a grown woman still has an article of clothing from when she was a teenager. And I was thinking to myself, how is that weird? Like, there's people all, like, how many of you still have articles of clothing or something that you've had for years, you know? And she turned it into this huge thing. This huge, like I said, like trying to completely psychoanalyze me into this box, and my video meaning this deep, like weird, creepy, odd thing. And it was so far from the truth. It was so far from the truth. It could not have been more. And I interacted with everybody on this post, right? Because I'm a comment backer a lot of times. And I'm trying to have a conversation, a back and forth with this person, but ultimately this person had made up their mind because me and my self-reflection of staying true to yourself triggered something in this person's mind that made them decide I had to be this way. If I wasn't this way, then they just couldn't live with it. I had to be this way. Ultimately, I say that to say this because that happens to all of us in doses all the time, right? People decide that we are a certain way, and they try to make us believe that that's who we are. That's it. And now I could have sat there and gone, oh my gosh, I'm this way, I had no idea, and she said this, and that's why. This is the violin. But no, why? Why? Because that would have been a waste of my time. It would have been a huge waste of my time to completely reprogram myself to try and place what this person had come up with in their own mind based off of their own personal mental thoughts and ideas and whatever. Something about my video triggered that person. It triggered her to such a degree, she had to turn me into something I completely wasn't to validate that emotion that was quite aggressive. Like, she was very aggressive in trying to get her point across, in making sure that I knew there was something wrong with me, because not only did I still have an article of clothing that I had when I was a teenager, but I needed to put it on and make a video about it. She completely missed the point that I was making in this video, which the entire principle is to be true to yourself. No matter who's telling you you shouldn't be this way, you can't be who you are. All these years later, here I am still being true to myself, and people still talk shit about it. People still talk shit about you, no matter how true to yourself you are, right? No matter what. That's the whole point. The whole point of my video. And ultimately, this person needed to let me know that how they felt about me and who they thought I was way, way more accurate than how I saw myself, than how I perceived myself. And we're going to come across that literally nonstop in our lives. It does not matter how old you get. It does not matter what job you take, who you are, what you look like. It's never going to matter. You're always going to come across these personalities that want to project that their feelings, their emotions, their opinions, their ideas are more valid than yours. That's fine. But do it over there. You know what I mean? Go do it over there. Go tell that tree how you feel about me and who you think I am, because I don't have time to listen to somebody else's false narratives that they've created to make themselves feel more comfortable with my energy. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, send me a message. I might be able to explain it better. I might not. That could be it. That could just be it. And you'll just have to swallow that pill. I'll get you a drink. I'll rub your throat. So that's my point. My point is that I think that we could spend and dote on everybody else's opinions and emotions and feelings, or we could spend that time securing ourselves in our own. And you have to think about the two outcomes of that. If you're going to put all your time and attention into catering to everybody else's feelings and opinions and ideas and thoughts and emotions and wants and needs in regards to you and who you are as a person and how you're living your life, versus putting all of that attention into being secure in yourself, learning about yourself, healing yourself, understanding yourself. That way, you can not just ultimately be making peace within yourself, but then when you go out and you're interacting with these types of people and people of other sorts, not just those types of people, it's going to go better. It's going to go better. You're either going to be able to interact with and communicate and come to common ground with different people, or you're going to start seeing where you need to just walk away. Let it go. Stop investing your time into making other people comfortable with you and learn to be comfortable with yourself. And it's absolutely impossible to do that if all your focus is constantly on how other people see you. Here's a spoiler alert. There's going to be a lot of people who just don't like you. They don't even need a reason. They don't need a reason. People you've known your whole life sometimes will just decide one day, you know what? I don't like them anymore. And if they don't decide to be who I've decided I want them to be, I'm going to treat them like shit. And you know what you can do? You can either live in that shit, which is going to suck and it's going to make your life a living hell, or you can say, you know what? Sorry you feel that way. We don't mesh, we don't vibe. You go your way, I'll go mine. Hey, Macarena, hi. Life is a dance. Life is a dance and you need to be your own dance partner. And if people can't keep up with the steps, you're going to have to step away. And it's really hard to do that sometimes. But it's 2023. Why not challenge yourself? Why not challenge yourself? And you know what? I think one of the biggest things that can help is where we're investing our time, where we're investing our mind space, the things that we watch, right? The content we feed on, the people we have around ourselves, whether or not we have boundaries up to protect ourselves from the negative things that we have to be around versus the things that we know we just need to get rid of and not humor anymore. And one of those things is where we invest our money, where we invest our time, where we invest our attention, where we invest. That's not one thing. That's a lot of things. Yeah. Well, that's all right. But that's my thought, and that's what I'm sticking to it. So, with that segue, let's talk about the small business of the week that we are supporting, and it is nothing but magical good vibes. Are you ready? Get ready. Okay, so one of the things that I have always used my platform for is to lift up small businesses, and I think that where we invest who we are like involved with is kind of a big part of who we are as human beings. And one of the things that I like to invest in is small businesses. Small businesses are a huge part of everything, really. And we can either put our focus in helping build up brands and people who also help lift up other people and good things for us, or we can just, keep investing in fucking trash like Wish and Shein and all the other bullshit companies. So each week on Monday Coffee with the Doll, I'm going to be highlighting a new small business that I like, that I've looked into, that inspires me, that I enjoy following, purchasing from, seeing what they're doing, and I'm going to shout them out here and introduce them to you guys and encourage you guys to go check them out and see if it's something that you're into, if you can jive with, if you can get down with. And the first small business that I'm going to be focusing on this year is Hemlock House. Now, Hemlock House is an amazing collaboration of two beautiful souls that came together, that are Helena Knight and my good friend Sarah, who I mean, it is what it is. I've known her for a really, really long time. She doesn't know I'm doing this. Surprise! She doesn't know that I'm doing this, but I've known her for a really long time. She's actually the owner of one of the most iconic modern day pinup photography businesses around, Dynamite Dames. If you haven't heard about them, all you have to do is type in Dynamite Dames pinup photography in Google search, and you're going to see some of the most beautiful pinup photography you've ever seen. She's still a pinup photographer. She still is shooting all over all the time. She always has amazing packages, but she recently created a small business with an amazing person by the name of Helena Knight, who I don't really know that much about. I apologize, I don't know that much about her yet, but I am a part of their Facebook group and I follow all the amazing stuff that they do. Helena Knight is her business is Love, Light, and Healing, and then Sarah has Bewitched Kitsch, and together they're creating some really magical things to inspire your life, inspire your soul, and just kind of bring things to a more magical, positive level, because good energy is the only energy that these two witches brew, and you know how your girl feels about good energy. So these two amazing boss witches have created an amazing small business together that have really focused on bringing all the good energy and all the goodness from their biggest passions. You know, Sarah is a retro, kitschy, witchy goddess, and Helena Knight is all about love, light, and healing, and together they're really creating some super cool stuff. So you have a great collection of homemade, handmade goods, from like little wax melts that make your house smell delicious to sage bundles that they are creating themselves that are ethically sourced from really great places. They're not buying in mass from like just trash dealers. This is stuff that you know that you can count on. If you don't understand it, you can reach out to them and they explain things, they talk to you about it, they care about what you're into. And then you also have some really fun hand-picked things that are sourced from other places that they're not making themselves. So you know that you're not just going to be getting these things that they buy in bulk for a cheap price that then they resell in their own shops. It's stuff that you can really count on, that you know is sourced well, and created in nothing but love, light, and good energy. They're a lot of fun. Right now they have a Facebook group where they do a lot of lives. They do a lot of sales over that. They do a lot of really fun things in their Facebook group. They both also have independent Facebook pages. I'm going to link everything below. They also do little pop-up shops local to where they're located. So if you're not where they are and you can't actually go to their shop to handpick things, which I really want to do someday and I haven't had the ability to because I'm not close enough, maybe I'll get a Nimbus and be able to just fly to see them. If you haven't caught on, Hemlock House is a very magical brand, a very magical small business that is all sourced in witchy goodness, and it's something that I very much am kind of connecting to on my own levels. And I really highly recommend you guys check them out because it's a small business that is done in nothing but goodness, love, and positivity. And they have a lot of really cool stuff going on. So make sure you guys go check out Hemlock House and the amazing things that these two small business owners are doing, both together and apart. Make sure that you tell them that the doll sent you and that you heard about them on Monday Coffee. So that is the small business that I highly recommend you guys go check out if you are in the need of any type of magical houseware goods. And they make all kinds of different stuff though. It's not just home good stuff. There's a lot of really fun little things. There's accessories and just, it's everything. There's all kinds of cool stuff. You guys have to go see to know what I'm talking about because I could talk forever and I'm trying to make my show smarter. So remember, go show them some Monday Coffee with the Doll Fam small business support. Let them know that you heard about it here and that we support and love them. And if you have a small business or you know a small business that is looking for some social media support and uplifting, make sure you come to the doll because Monday Coffee has got you. Whew. I feel like I've been talking really fast. I feel like I could use a little pick-me-up. I feel like I've been howling for a long time. What is that? What is that you say? You've been howling? You've been howling for a brew? Well, let me tell you, if you are looking for a brew that's not just fit for a witch, but for any bitch, or I mean, like a female dog, or dude, or anybody, everybody, here's a coffee plug. Get ready for some good beans. Are you having a hard time getting up in the morning because you've been up all night howling at the moon? Well, have no fear, because Sleeping Dog Coffee Beans are here. Sleeping Dog Coffee Beans, the brew that'll get you up howling in the morning when you've been up howling late at night. That's right. It's the official brew of Monday Coffee with the Doll coming at you. Fill yourself a cup and get up and get out the door. That's right. That was good. There wasn't even anything inappropriate in that one. I'm about to put out my own beans with Sleeping Dog Coffee, so make sure you're tasting their beans now because there's going to be some Monday Coffee with the Doll dog brew beans soon. I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's going to be fun. I have an entire box over here that I'm about to do some mad science testing, and we're going to open it live on TikTok this Wednesday. That's right, this Wednesday I'm going to be doing a live on my TikTok where I unbox an entire box of Sleepy Dog coffee beans, and you guys are going to be there to go through the box with me, and it's going to be super exciting. So Sleeping Dog coffee beans, it's the way to go. She's got some really awesome new mugs that are perfect. This is the perfect size cup of joe. I can get it down before it needs to be nuked in the microwave, and it's absolutely amazing. So check her out, you guys. There's a coupon code below for you guys to use on your first order so you can taste the beans yourself, and yeah, it'll be great. So that was a good plug. I'm proud of myself. Didn't even say anything too like controversial or offensive. That'll be it for this episode of Monday Coffee with a Doll. I wanted you guys to start your week off with some positivity. You know your girl likes to bring it hot and brewed fresh. Positivity is the only way to go. And if you're having a hard time brewing up your own positive, hot, fresh positivity, you can come here because I'll help you put it in the microwave and give it a quick 30 to get it a little refreshed if you're having a hard time. So remember, make sure that you guys are checking out all the fun links below. There's a lot of ways to get in contact with me. If you are a small business, I'm here to help you. There's ways to contact me below for that. If you are just, a human out there in the world looking for a table to sit at and you need a little inspiration, some advice, some help, there's some ways to contact me for that. Also, if you want to win some Sleeping Dog coffee beans, this month I'm going to be picking somebody who signs up from my mailing list through my link tree, and I'm going to send you some beans. Yeah, to help you wake up in the morning or keep you up at night. Or just, have all day like me, because I like to always have a fresh cup, mug. I don't know. We're going to just leave it at that. So remember, make peace within yourself, so you can walk in love with others. Sharing is caring and knowledge is power. And if I can share the knowledge that I collect along this crazy road with you so you can be more knowledgeable and your choices later down the road will definitely be stronger together. But most importantly, remember that these are the days that fill your week. Make them as amazing as you are. They got a lot to keep up with. I love your faces, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do.
Very cool. Good to see